Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Well, you can tell from the title of the video that I am curious about the future of the Thunderstroke Cheiftain and Roadmaster. If you follow the Indian brand, you know that in 2025, Indian released a PowerPlus Cheiftain and Roadmaster in the 108, also in the 112. So now you have three different fork-mounted fairings. You have the original fork-mounted fairing that Indian produced. And then you have the one that I currently have that I think they came out with that fairing on the Cheiftain back in, I think 2019. I have the 24 Roadmaster Dark Horse. And now this PowerPlus Cheiftain Roadmaster has even a different fork-mounted fairing. Essentially, the new PowerPlus Cheiftain Roadmaster is a Pursuit Challenger with a different fairing, and that makes sense. You know, kind of like the Street Glide, Road Glide, are the same exact motorcycle with the exception of the fairing. Now, I have the Thunderstroke Roadmaster. I really like the Thunderstroke motor. Of course, I'm a little older. I'm kind of a purist. I'm cool with riding an air-cooled, oil-cooled motorcycle motor. But I've ridden a Challenger 3 different times, and it was the 108. I haven't ridden the 112 yet, but even the 108 clearly has a lot more horsepower than the Thunderstroke motor, and it has more torque than the Thunderstroke motor. So overall, it's just a more powerful motor. So it's October 2025, so this is the time of year I start wondering, what's Indian going to do next year? What are they going to do for 2026? I don't really expect any real major changes because in 2025 they upgraded the Scout and they dropped the PowerPlus Cheiftain Roadmaster. So I don't really expect anything new in 2026. I mean, we could always be surprised. They did discontinue the FTR, which there are still some FTRs, new ones on showroom floors, but they did discontinue the FTR. Who knows? Maybe they'll come out with an adventure bike using that motor. But, over the years, like all brands, Indian has discontinued models. They discontinued the original Chief Classic. They discontinued the Chief Vintage. They've discontinued now the FTR. So will they discontinue the Thunderstroke, Cheiftain, and Roadmaster? I want your opinion. What do you think? I hope they don't. I hope they don't. I hope at least for the foreseeable future, I hope they keep both motors for the touring lineup, both the Thunderstroke and the PowerPlus motor. Now, if I was Indian, I would go ahead and discontinue the Roadmaster with the original fairing. Some time back, they had already discontinued the Cheiftain with that original fairing, the one that has the 1950s freight train look with the driving lights, the fog lights molded into the fairing, the one with the swooping saddlebags and the full fender. I would go ahead and discontinue that one. I still see a lot of them on the road, but when I go to dealerships, sometimes there are zero of that particular version of the Roadmaster on showroom floors. So I would go ahead and discontinue that one completely. I would keep the Thunderstroke Limited, the Thunderstroke Dark Horse, as well as the PowerPlus models. That puts you down to two fork-mounted fairings. The one that's on my Dark Horse Roadmaster, and now the fairing that's on the PowerPlus Roadmaster and PowerPlus Cheiftain. Now, if Indian does what I'm suggesting and do away with that full-fendered swooping saddlebag Roadmaster, then that only leaves you with one motorcycle left in the lineup with the full fender, and that is one of the Springfields. You can still get a Springfield with the full fender and the swooping saddlebags and the windshield. You can also get a Springfield with the open fender and the square looking saddlebags, which is mostly what I see on showroom floors, is the newer version of the Springfield. So if that puts you down to just one full fendered Indian motorcycle, here's something I would also do. Discontinue the original Roadmaster, but come back out with a vintage version of the Springfield. I mean, you're only changing the saddlebags. Go back and offer some leather saddlebags with the fringe for those that want that vintage look. And if that tan leather doesn't hold up well, and often it didn't, maybe just offer it in the black leather. But those are two things I would do if I was Indian. When it comes to the big heavy motorcycles, I would go ahead and discontinue the original Roadmaster. Keep the two other Roadmasters, the newer fairing that I have, and of course obviously they just came out with a new fairing. They kind of get some styling cues from the Challenger. If you look at the Challenger and look at that new Cheiftain Roadmaster PowerPlus fairing, you can see the family resemblance. But again, that's what I would do. I would drop that one model. I would go ahead and add a vintage model option for the Springfield, maybe make it a limited edition, special paint, maybe numbered if somebody wants that vintage model. Because I argued all along that the vintage was the eye candy that pulled many of us away from Harley Davidson. My first Indian was a vintage. And if it wasn't for that bike, I might still be riding a Harley Davidson. Maybe they need to make some, I know probably it's a small market. Obviously, the vintage wasn't the best seller. They'd still be making it. Same thing with the Chief Classic and the FTR, which I thought was a great bike. But again, that's just my guess. I don't have any inside information. I'm hopeful they keep the Thunderstroke motor. One thing that may keep it in the lineup is the fact that the Thunderstroke motor is on the Chief models. So they're still going to use that motor, I'm sure, for many years to come. So if you're going to offer it on the Chief, of course I realize the Chief has an entirely different frame than the Roadmaster that I have, or the Cheiftain version of the Roadmaster that I currently ride. But anyway, that's my thoughts, my opinions. I'm thinking, my guess is, at least for now, at least I'm hopeful, that the Thunderstroke Cheiftain Roadmaster can be marked safe for 2026. I'm hoping it'll still be in the lineup for several more years, but again, I would go ahead and discontinue the original Roadmaster. They already did discontinue that fairing on the Cheiftain. So what do you think? What should they keep all three different fork-mounted fairings, which really doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but again, what do you think about that? Or what are your predictions? What do you think they may add? They're usually kind of on a 5-year cycle. I remember motorcycle manufacturers used to be on about a 10-year cycle. They'd come out with a new model, and that model might run 10 years with just minor upgrades before a major revamp. But now with the competition between Harley and Indian, it's more like each one every 5 years or so are upping their game. So be sure and leave in the comments what you think Indian's going to do in 2026. Do you think we'll see any brand new models? Or I suspect mostly just new colors because of revamping the Scout and coming out finally with a PowerPlus, Cheiftain, and Roadmaster. I don't expect to see any major changes in 2026. But again, comment down below. And if you enjoy this content, be sure and like and subscribe as well. And if you like to ride as much as you can, because one day we're all going to be too old to ride. Okay, you used to ride with me a lot, and there was a message you would give the YouTube audience. Do you remember what that message was?
Make sure to like and subscribe.
One more thing.
And ring the bell icon.
Oh yeah, okay, one more thing after that. Something down below.
Oh, and comment down below.
Yes.